What's up, nerd geeks and gamers alike? It's Nerdy Nick, and I'm back with this week's retro review of the week. Now, this game, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, is a very hard game. It's very challenging. Can be fun, but we're going to go ahead and dive into that in 3, 2, 1. This week's video is brought to us by Game Trader of Tucson. Game Trader of Tucson is located at the corner of Grant and Silverbell in the Safeway Plaza, located right next to Safeway. Game Trader can repair any and all of your consoles, has consoles from Atari 2600 all the way to your current gen consoles right now. Loaded with games, accessories, and more. So make sure to stop by Game Trader of Tucson and tell them Nerdy Nick sent you. So this week, we're going to go ahead and review Castle of Dragon on the NES. Castle of Dragon is somewhat of an obscure game based off of a 1989 arcade game by the same name. This game, however, is one that differs a lot from the actual arcade game. Take a little bit of Castlevania, take a little bit of Ghouls and Ghosts, or Ghosts and Goblins, and you got yourself Castle of Dragon. I couldn't really find too much on this game just because of the obscurity and the game not being so popular, but I did play it for a while, and what I can tell you is, well, like I said, with those two mixtures, you get Castle of Dragon. Apparently, this game is about half an hour longer than the arcade cabinet version, in that basically the story goes, a dragon kidnapped the princess, and you gotta save her. Luckily, you don't have to go too far because the world, like I said, is only about half an hour to 45 minutes long. So anyways, this game is developed and produced by Seta. I've never heard of this company before. I'm not too big on obscure or slightly rarer titles, but I mean, if you look at the artwork here, it's kind of plain Jane, you know what I'm saying? This looks like it could be a Walgreens romance novel cover, on paperback. But let's start with the pros, I guess. So, with the pros, you've got, it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. It's easy to pick up and play. The soundtrack's actually pretty cool. That's about it. My list of cons, on the other hand, is a little bit longer. In fact, it'd probably take me a while to get through them all, but here are some of my major complaints. So first off, you have a sword and a shield and some armor. And luckily, your shield does kind of work, but it works in the way that you use a paper plate to block water from a super soaker. And your sword, you might as well have like a threading needle as your sword. The enemies vary from skeletons to bats to fireballs to zombies and possessed knights and whatnot. But it's very generic feeling, but also again very challenging. You have a mid boss almost. It feels like every 6 screens. And like I said, you move from left to right, so it is a very much simple side-scroller game. There is no backtracking in any way, shape, or form. It is very much straightforward. The power-ups are very they're rare. I mean, they're about as rare as this game. I mean, I've seen this is the first game I've seen, but this is the first time I've seen this game in my entire life. Whether that be just because of the market around here where I live, but I mean, who knows? I've been to some gaming conventions and I still don't remember seeing this title before. But let's talk about the shield. Like I said, the shield, it doesn't really work, and that is very unfortunate because it seems like the game wants you to strategize based on block, attack, and figuring out your enemy's rhythms. Unfortunately, going into that, there's a lot of hit, run away, and then run back and hit, and then run away and run back and hit. And it's very much, it's a simple pattern for almost every mid-boss and end-level boss, but it just takes forever to play it that way. And even your power-ups don't last a very long time. There's no like magic meter You do have 2 health bars on the top left, but from what I can understand, only one is a health bar, and there's like this blue bar, and I'm not really sure what that does. I've tried to use like all my power. I tried to press power up, over and over again to see what would happen, and that bar doesn't even go down, so I can't even tell you what that is for. But you do get a pretty cool upgraded blue set of armor, and from what I've seen by other people playing that have gotten a little bit further than I have, because I didn't get very far at all, as you can see in the gameplay. I'm not very good at this game, but you do get a cool upgraded suit of armor, and that looks very awesome, just to say the least, without saying any bad words there. Anyways, it's a hard game. It's tough. I don't know. I saw someone on YouTube post a video of beating this game without any deaths. I die a lot in this game, and I mean a lot. There are some platforming elements to it, but it feels like it's trying to be very much like a Castlevania ripoff, or a poor man's Castlevania, so to speak. I don't see myself playing this game ever again, besides doing this review. But, I mean, not every game is going to be for me, just like not every game is supposed to be for me. So, with that being said, I'm just going to wrap up the review right here, because I don't really have much else to say about this game. This game, like I said though, it is not very common to me anyways, down in Tucson, Arizona. But if you want, and if you live in Tucson and you happen to stumble upon this video, there is this copy over at Game Trader of Tucson. And good luck to you when you play the game. That is about all I've got to say for Castle of Dragon for the NES. And